Hey, welcome.
Wait, let the
What?
people come in. I mean, we just turned it on.
Yeah, I know. I can welcome them twice. Hey, welcome everybody that's here right now. Welcome. All you earth beings and light beings and human beings, all y'all. Welcome. We just waiting till y'all come on in a little bit. We're going to kick this Thursday off. It's almost the weekend, y'all. One more day. I don't, I'm so far removed from that. It don't. Every day to me is equal. Shit. When I was working, I was like everybody else. Oh, I can't wait till Friday. And but then I would work on Saturday. So let me quit lying. Unless I was going golfing, I would go in that lab and do whatever it was just to be doing something. So anyway, y'all remember what the topic was last week, right? Our food supply. And today we have Goddess Aja, who is the creator of the studio that we're in right now, gonna be taking the lead of this journey today. So just wherever this journey take you, ride it out smoothly. It ain't personal. It's just information. And we feel like it's good that we get the information that we need because we're in the time of, unveiling. So with that being said, here's Aja.
Let me turn it. Let me shift this.
How's that looking? Is this
Yeah, that's cool. I can
all
see.
right? Perfect.
That's cool. I can see.
Awesome.
Okay, so what's up, everybody? First,
You ain't
everybody.
switched it.
I ain't switch what? I'm gonna switch. You gonna leave it like that because I just came in. All right, let me switch it. I knew you was gonna do that.
Yes, I am.
You could have
All
left it
right.
with you a little
There you go.
longer.
Hey, well, she's in charge, y'all. I'm just here
Peace,
checking it
peace,
out
peace,
too.
peace, peace on all of the platforms. We're gonna talk about food today. Let me switch this so I can see. I guess I'll watch it from here to know what's going on. Um, yeah, I didn't really think about that, but now that I see
Oh
it.
yeah, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna go get a one of the bottles of the ginger beer I told y'all I was making. While she's waiting on y'all.
Oh, well, I'm ready, but yeah, get the ginger beer while she's waiting on y'all. You, oh no.
Damn, look at that. Look, it's already fizzing, y'all. Look at that. Fizzing. I ain't opening it. Let's see. Oh, you heard
Mm.
that? Oh man. And it still got another day. I love this, man. Look at that. Natural. Look at that. Ain't no chemicals.
Right.
That's all just ginger, water,
No
and sugar.
chemicals.
I love it. I have to strain it again. It always get these particles, but that's the ginger
Yeah.
and the other herbs. Cause this one is one of my favorite. It have lemon. It has allspice leaf. It has cinnamon leaves. It have cloves. Man, it is awesome. So, with that being said, let's go on and get with this. This is a good thing to make. Ginger good for the stomach.
Mhm. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do um, to talk about the origins of food because some of the things I watch on like people tell it ginger is not okay. Ginger is one of the foods you should avoid, like garlic, like some of the things with pineapples, some of the things that we hear about that are taboo that some people come to love and find very, very helpful and beneficial. So that's what
It's
we're going to.
beneficial to me. It's the best beer I ever drank. It's my own.
Yeah, right. We love it. So we're going to talk about the origins of food from like ancient foods to lab grown foods into the not genetic modification, but gene modification. So, just so we clear on what we're eating, so what we know about, how did we get here? How did we come to start eating the way we eat? Well, before like about 10,000 years, 10,000 BC, we were hunter gatherers. That's like really the most ancient way. Like whatever was around, we hunted it and we gathered it. There was no, and it was seasonal. Whatever was in season, there was no, because first of all, there weren't preservatives, so to speak, yet. There weren't, so there weren't means of preserving any foods. And there also was you ate what was in season, when it was in season, and what you could forage. And there wasn't a lot of thought about around cultivation. They just ate things as they were. They didn't try to mess with it. Then you went into the agricultural age where, people started, tinkering with food, messing with food. And, okay, well, we're going to corral the animals. We're going to, have this, we're going to have that in season, and hybridization begins. People start playing scientists with food and start, putting things together, which is, I don't know, for all intents and purposes, I think it's kind of cool. We wouldn't have many of the varieties we have if people didn't play scientists out there in the farm, not God, and overall, like, because I feel like there's a complex later on we'll get to that kind of describes that, but scientists out there. Then the Industrial Revolution comes along, and what happens with that? Well, now machines come in the kitchen, we're refining sugars and flours, and we learn how to preserve. Well, we preserve everything. So from the 1950s to the 70s, then we start making food convenient. Also, this parallels around the time women start going into the workforce. Like, they're not home cooking. We don't have time for that. You got to be out there making this money. So now, and this is the start of women's lib too, or a large part of women's lib. Women wanted to be free and they wanted to work. And so that's what was happening. And so the food suffered. This is canned goods, frozen, food, factory farms, and additives. This is the way. So no one is gardening anymore. No one is.
We gardening, damn it.
Well, I'm talking about in the 1950s, because we get back around to, like, in this day and age, we get back around to people like us. Like, it's a lot of us. A lot more of us are growing, and we find it, like, you'll hear someone say, yeah, I have a garden, or I'm growing something in the back, where, there was a period of time, it's like, no, everybody, few people, few grandparents and stuff were growing. Then we get past the 70s into the health movement, vegetarianism, veganism, and organic awareness and things. But all of this is coming along with the food supply. After, you stop growing, then these things and philosophies can come up. And then we get into the 2000s, which is modern diets and the way people view eating and things now. So we go from ancient. So what's better, like ancient, hybrid, GMO, and how does it affect our health? What really matters? What should we be eating? Because, I don't know, a lot of people have a lot of religions around eating, but it's not necessarily what's best for us. A lot of cases, it's not what's best for us. And not only not what's best for us, it has like so many, implications beyond just like, okay, I'm putting food, in my mouth. All right. So ancient, like what foods should we be eating? What foods are out there that are as close to natural as possible? There's ancient foods, so varieties that have minimal change. So, and let me say this, there's really nothing out there that hasn't been touched by man. If you're not growing it, then it's been touched. And even if you're growing it, it's still probably been touched, because where'd you get those seeds from? How'd you come by seeds? Somebody did something to get these seeds, which is how you have them. So there's ancient foods and things that are very, very close to their ancient nature, but most things are not ancient in nature anymore. They've been, tinker with man. Then there's heirloom, which is, I guess, the best thing we can find and have, things that have been passed down from generations, and they can tell you the lineage. They've been documenting the lineage of that variety of plant and that seed for decades, and they maintain the integrity through it. And that's heirloom, which is probably one of the best seeds. Like, those are around the best seeds you can get. Then there's hybrid. So we go down, like if you go down, as we go down and list what they are, you move further and further away from it being original. So you start at ancient, but as we keep going, you're going further and further away from its ancient ancestor. So hybrid, what's hybrid? Hybrid is two species mixed together that creates what it is. And mostly what we eat is hybrid. Like there's nothing. And this is from farming intervention. This is from the intervention of, big agriculture. There's just nothing that's just a single essence as we got into it right now. If you have such a seed, can you get at me? Like, call me, DM me, like, email, put it in the comments or something. Let us know, because we want those seeds as ancient, as possible. And when we start talking about ancient things, we'll get into like what those things are, like what's out there that's most ancient. Okay, so next there's GMO. Well, after hybrid, there's GMO. GMO, we all know, is genetically modified. We all know it's bad. We all know we don't want it. So, like, especially if you're on Asami's channel, you should definitely not be in the GMO realm. Like, after we get the hybrid, you should stop. You really shouldn't be like in lower. Then after that, there's gene edited, which means that they've gone in and actually messed with the genome of the plant, the species, and it's no longer itself. It just is. The other things are married. Hybrid are two things that's married and still has the essence of both things in it. But gene edited is different. And even GMO, it makes it more resistant. It's still laboratory cultivated, and it deals with the seed itself. These are targeting the actual DNA of the gene, and that's where you just don't know. It's almost like creating a Frankenstein.
Exactly. A monster.
Yeah. So you don't know in which direction it's going to go. Oh my God, since it's not regulated either. So now you introduce that into agriculture somewhere, and who knows what it could do to the plant life around it.
Bill Gates is the founder.
Yeah, Bill Gates. We'll see what it's going to do, but we know scientists, a lot of people are worried. Of course, they are saying that this will stop the need for harming animals. So the vegans are all on board, but there are implications that we just don't know. And I say, like, I don't want the Frankenstein. If I know that it's Frankenstein, I don't want it. And so then there's another one that to me is beyond the realm of another Frankenstein creation, lab grown. And we know that in the U.S. right now, you can have lab grown salmon, lab grown
burgers.
Lab-grown burgers. It's like, it's lab-grown. It's
lab-grown chicken.
Yeah. Is that what we really want?
That's what they want. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, and remember, they say this is all in the efforts for, greenhouse effects and keep the planet safer and so forth. But at the expense of what? So while it starts with a living organism, because all of these things have to start from life.
Right.
That's the interesting thing. Like, that's the Frankenstein thing, I guess, right?
Right.
And I said, well, no, Frankenstein didn't come from life at all, did he?
Yeah,
Was he a bunch of dead things?
He put a bunch of dead things together to create that.
Well, how did he get the spark of life in him? How did Frankenstein?
It was his machine. That was his whole thing. Was his machine.
Okay, well.
The machine charged this back up. Now, y'all, Frankenstein is a movie now, because
Of
to
course.
put the actually be able to put an energetic body in
Something dead.
that you had put together is next to
Well,
impossible.
it's impossible, right? That
Next to
can't
impossible.
happen. Oh, okay. Well, that's another thing for another time when Asami, teach you guys about that.
Well, yeah, y'all, they messing with us. They messing with us.
Yeah.
Don't let them. You better listen. Go ahead,
Right.
Audrey.
So that and then after that there is that this is CRISPR. That's that gene editing DNA directly, because I believe lab grown is at one level. The CRISPR, which is the Bill Gates,
Right.
so it's just next level. So
The
there's no
annihilation.
need to cross species. They change the genes from inside the DNA of the thing, and so that and CRISPR things. So they make non-browning mushrooms. So these mushrooms can be on your plate or in the grocery store for an extended amount of time, and you'll never know. It's been like about those are 4 month old mushrooms. Like, we want the decaying factor in our food. You don't want to take away the decaying factor. They have non-browning avocados, non-browning apples, and I know it's a pain, but get you a lime, get you a lemon, something citrus, and sprinkle it over your apples and your avocado and preserve it as long as you can. But the idea is, and what the fruit or the vegetable is telling you, eat me now. Like, I'm at
Right.
my freshest right now, and this is the best time to consume me. And so when you don't, that's when the decay, the visible decay starts. And we like that, because I like to know that the vegetable is dead. That goes into, like, when we talk about electric food. Like, how is your food electric and it's totally brown and it's vibrant? It's best to consume it when it's green. So CRISPR, I would just advise, watch out for it. Read all of the labels of what you're buying, from your rices to your pasta. Understand the words, look them up. Get you a little dictionary, put it in your phone, whatever you got to do, so you can understand the lingo of the labels, and then what's best for you. And you always want to strive to put the best foods in your body. Okay, so what's the best of the best to eat? What do we want to eat today? Peace, y'all. What should be on your plate? Since and this is factual. You can look this all up yourself, which I really strongly suggest you do. Look it up yourself, and fact check. And also look up. Don't worry about what's your blood type. Should you be eating for your blood type? And this, no, no. The main thing you should be eating for is your geographical location. Where are you? Where are you? And what's in season where you are? And if you change that location, the question still remains: what's in season where I am right now? That's what you should eat. And you really should, have patience for the things that come when they come and the times they come. So if there are no oranges, then there are no oranges to have, and you'll wait, and you'll feel fulfilled in the days when oranges are and are plentiful and they're ready to pick off the tree. We have a passion fruit vine out there that just produced. I was just out there today. There are, I mean, it's an insane amount of flowers on that passion fruit. It's so many. The bees and the wasps and the pollinating things are all over it, which is why it's on steroids. Okay, and we don't even do anything to it. It just
Nothing.
does this itself. I was looking at, like, how plentiful it is. When it's not there, then we don't have it. Well, we do go to the store and get some passion fruit, a little cocktail sometimes. But the idea is to, we get the passion fruit from our vines, and then I empty them out and I put them in a container and I freeze them.
Right.
So when we want passion fruit, once it's done, then there's still some around, but I've preserved it to the best of my ability. I preserved it to the best of my ability. I don't add anything to it. Actually there are no preservatives added to it. It's just pure passion fruit that's been frozen for a period of time. That's your best way and only way you want to preserve. So again, we're talking about like what's the best of the best to eat today. So everything we eat was once alive. So you can like disabuse yourself of thinking that you're eating anything alive. Like once you cut it from its source, it's dying.
Start the decay process.
It starts the decay process, but it's already connected from source and it starts to die. Doesn't mean that there are no minerals or value to it. Of course not. Or we would all be jacked up. we are getting these minerals from these things, but the least processed and the quicker you have it. So the winners in this whole eating game, the people who are doing the best out here, are the people who grow. And I'm not talking about like we're eating from someone who grows. I mean those of us who grow. So if you grow, then you can just go out there, pick it, and consume it. It's at its height of viability. Because once you cut it, it's connected from source. It's on its way to die. It's dying slowly. And in most times it's dead because you can't take that thing and make another thing from it. So if you can't make another thing from it, it's dead. It's totally dead. A lot of these plants you can, kind of get, a piece of it and propagate it and so forth. But remember, that's human intervention. That makes it man-made. Wasn't naturally occurring. It would have died by itself. But because you intervened and took it and put it in some water, let it get some roots, and then planted it, now it's a whole nother plant. That's human intervention. And that's something we do, I guess, all the time, right? Like, I'm with it. Because as a grower, we, interact with the plant. I'm watering it. That's human intervention. If it doesn't rain,
pruning it, all that is our intervention.
Exactly. I'm going to get the weeds from around it. I'm going to do the best I can to make, that plant, to give the plant the environment
where it can thrive.
Where it thrives. And so what does it do for me? Give me all of the fruit that it bears. And it's the reciprocal process, right? Like I'm caring for it and loving it, and it's caring for me and loving me. And now we have a relationship going. So hands down, the people who benefit the most from what they're eating are people who grow. And then I guess next would be people who get stuff from people who grow. Like kudos to you. So support them because what they have is food gold. It's the best of the best out there. If you can find somebody who's a farmer and they love it and they're doing it on a small scale, because things have to be compromised once it gets big. Something got to give, because you just can't get so big and maintain it. It's really, and that says everything about it too, right? It's really meant to let you know that you should be doing your share. You should be, having something to do with, the things you're eating. Everything we eat was once alive, but by the time you get it, it's dead. So the philosophies around, eating things electric and this and that is just honestly, impossible to maintain. And I was thinking about, as I was putting this together, I was thinking about who eats the best, who is out there, really doing a good job, staying as close to ancient as possible and eating ancient. And really, there's really not anybody out there. Everyone, everywhere is imploring today's efforts. I'm sure there are little offsets in jungles and places here and there, but for the most part, we're all imploring today's technology. So there is no really best. I will say that the U.S. is among the worst. It's probably the worst. I really would like to tell you, if you're in the U.S., run. Get the hell out of there. Grow your own, and then you have to grow your own in a greenhouse. You can't even grow your own like outdoors because tripping with all of um the the chemtrails and but I mean all the things. I don't want to go out of it, but all of the things that you put outside the water, like what you have to do to get the water supply, like the further away I think probably in the South, maybe in Alabama, Mississippi, you can grow well out there. I don't know, but not the Dakotas or any of that. So everything dies to give us life, and that's what we focus on, right? Like what is the health? And when I think about the countries, so the countries that are doing the best out there are Japan, Spain, Singapore, and Switzerland. And we don't eat like them. Like they are plant based and real plant based. Like they're not spraying things. It's illegal to have most of the chemicals that the U.S. use on their, even in their organic produce. Singapore and Switzerland and in Japan, they're just not having it. So they're eating healthier. But does eating healthier mean longevity? Does it mean like you're going to live longer just because you eat well? And
no.
Yeah, and the sad fact is that eating well isn't enough. You have to like stress trumps all of that. You can be a raw ital sun cooked, you grew it yourself and all that and be stressed and because you just adopted the ways of eating like that, but your stress will take you out.
It would take you out.
Weighing properly and all the things, but the stress will crush you. It'll crush you. So it is not just the one thing. It is not just food. You have to manage your stress. You have to take care of yourself. You have to make sure, you've seen about you. Stalking yourself. You have to get the book. Let me switch around real quick. You have to.
The book, y'all. The book.
Get the book, How to Be Human.
Hey, it helps. It helps because it helps us to see ourselves. Because we get so caught up in this, we don't see ourselves, and then we just go with the flow. And the flow ain't about helping us. The flow is about destroying us for real. So you don't want to be in that flow. The only flow you want to be in is the flow of the universe. And trust me, when you get in that flow, you don't need nothing from nobody.
Nada.
So get that book, y'all.
Yeah, get that book. It's on Amazon right now. I know, like my daughter-in-law was telling me because I was like, I got the QR code up there. She was like, well, people are going to be on their phone, so the QR code is not like, how are they going to scan the QR code? So just go to Amazon.com and put in How to Be Human, and you'll find it. So
yes,
that's where it is. Yeah.
Support, y'all. I love y'all support. Not only do I love y'all support, if you take the book and use it, it's gonna support you too. So it's a give and take, I give, you give, I take, you take. Hey, we all live, we all enjoy. Go ahead, Aja.
So what should you eat? Just to, and to give you some ideas and do the best you can to get as close to it. And if you're not growing something, find something to grow. I'm going to say moringa, I have found is one of the easiest things to grow and kind of hard to kill too. I've been loving growing moringa. So, and I think you can grow it inside. I haven't tried to grow it inside. But I think you might be able to. Keep it in the sun, in a well-lit area, and give it as much sun as you can. And if you're in somewhere that does not have winters, then you can put it outside and grow you some moringa. Um, so these are ancient herbs and wild foods. This is I went and found the things as most ancient as possible and closest to is original counterpart of what you find in the grocery stores. So turmeric and ginger, all the turmeric and ginger you want. Don't let people tell you that it's been cultivated somewhere. Yes, it has. All of it has. You're not gonna find anything that hasn't. Like I want you to keep that at the forefront. You're not gonna find anything that has not in the U.S. Not in the U.S. So get you some ginger and turmeric. The benefits far outweigh any theories that people are talking about. Dandelion greens. Don't get the dandelions if you out your yard, if you were spraying your yard. But if you're not, if your yard is organic, pull those things out. Pull those things out of the yard, out the wild spaces, and you can eat the greens and you actually can eat the flower head too. So you can let those dry out and make teas with it. You can always let it dry out and make teas with it. But those greens you can slice up and dice up and cook as greens. Better for you than any kales, any mustard greens, any of those greens. Like you really should stay away from. They are extremely hard. Think about how long it takes you to cook collard greens. It takes you that long. Like we cook collard greens as long as we cook meat. That says everything about how rough collards are. And I don't tell you, I love a good collard. Like somebody, boy, I love collard greens, but they're not the best thing for my body. So, you know, so I adjust accordingly. I have it sometimes, but it's really rough on your digestive system. So stay away from collard greens. Get you some dandelion greens. Nettle, which is iron and mineral based, your seaweeds, which are rich with all of the minerals from the sea, and marine vegetables, good for you, and cacao. Cacao is pretty ancient. It's like very very close to its original form. Is really like one of it's Honduras chocolate, right?
Uh-huh.
Cacao is the chocolate of Honduras, and it's delicious and it's magnesium rich. I was like, I gotta get me some cacao. I was like, I need some magnesium in my life. Um, so those are the ancient of herbs and things. And then I just wanted to say for protein, because people are so weird about protein and being vegan or vegetarian or whatever. I wild caught small fish, the smaller the fish, the better. So like your mackerels and sardines and anchovies, small little whitings, were ones that are not farmed. Again, wild caught small fish. It's great. And then if you happen to eat, it has to be wild. It has to be, well, not wild. It has to be raised responsibly. As a brother that I was in the mosque with, shout out to Brother Patrick, and he's called the Principal Farmer. Check him out. He's in Georgia, and he has cattle and fowl and a few other things, lamb, sheep, um, and he sells it. So support the brothers. A brother who has like 30 acres, and he is responsibly raising meat.
He
So
created a whole school for kids to learn how to farm.
he has a school on his property. I mean, he's a bad brother.
Yeah, he's a brother that's about his shit.
Yeah, he's a bad, he's a bad brother. So, and support him because he sells. Like you get with, if again, this is if you eat meat, but you get with a brother or a family that eats meat, and then y'all can split up a cow, and and he splits it up and so forth. So check him out. Again, his name is Patrick the Principal Farmer, or the Principal Farmer. I don't know if he Patrick the Principal Farmer, but he's the Principal Farmer. So I think I'm gonna like come up out of it. The people who are eating the best around the world. How far in are we, babe? Okay, 33 minutes. Yeah. I'm about to bring it all around and close it out. So people around the world, who seem to be doing the best with their eating patterns. I know I told you who lived longest before with Switzerland and Singapore and Japan. But the people whose eating traditions and patterns are closest to ancient are Ethiopia. So, and we've known that for a long time, right? Like Ethiopians are doing well with keeping their food intact and spices and such. Then the Mediterranean, Japan shows up again. Um, and, indigenous like Mesoamerica, they're still, eating a lot of squashes and wild greens and so forth. They're not as meat intensive as other places seem to be, and I guess that's why they tend to um have a better eating palate, like I said, closer to ancient. So what can you do? What should you do? You should be eating as close to earth as possible: whole, unprocessed, seasonal, local, organic, natural. I don't even like the word organic. Natural, as natural as possible in how you prepare it. Don't kill it with how you prepare it. Stop frying it. Let it soak and have it. If you can sun cook some of your food, do that. But if not, try not to like blanch or kill or cook all of the value out of your food. And one of the best things is to have diversity on your plate. Colors, make sure it's just not bland looking. Like the different colors represented means there are different vitamins and minerals that play different things that you'll benefit from that plate. So, um, so fruits. You want your berries, your pomegranates. Again, this is as close to ancient as possible. And the most electric, I guess. They've survived time. Um, Still with human intervention, but they've survived over time, and they're doing good out there, and they're still at the highest, I guess, alkaline and electricity for us. But berries, pomegranates, figs, and dates, bananas, which are not your wild bananas, but bananas are still good for you. Papaya, soursop, apples, crab apples, veggies, okra. Okra is kind of close to ancient. I was thinking about that when you made it today. I was like, hey, okra. Okra is good for you. You know, uh, get you some okra and make you some okra water and get over yourself. Like, drink it. It's good for you. Amaranth, callaloo, is as close to its ancient part of as most things that we see out there. Get you some squashes, which are hybrid, but they're good for you. So, don't let people trip you up on it. Get you some squash, those zucchinis, yellow squash, all of that stuff, cucumbers,
Pumpkin.
those things are all in the same family and they're good for you. So, and they're even better for you when you grow them yourself. And then we have ancient legumes, which are, our beans and stuff. You want to eat lentils, chickpeas, and black beans and things that are small. You don't want large beans. And go ahead and look that on up and, figure that out for yourself. But you don't want large
Figure
beans.
it out.
The smaller,
The
the
better.
better. And then we're off to ancient grains. So quinoa is up there, like it is as close to its ancient counterpart as it could possibly be, but it has been hybridized and there is human intervention in it. Well, it's not hybridized. Hybridized is the wrong word. It has been cultivated by humans over time. So it is not your ancient grown in the wild quinoa. Amaranth, which is great. The Aztecs cultivated amaranth and is rich in calcium and iron, is good for you. Get you some amaranth. Teff, an Ethiopian grain. Millet, which is ancient and gluten free. So, like, you don't have to find wheat that they've taken gluten out of. If gluten comes in wheat, why don't you find something that's gluten free all on its own? And it's millet, Millet. Get you some. Try it out.
Yeah, Africans they make a beer out of red millet.
Hmm.
Ancient.
Hmm. Ancient. Chia and flax seeds. great. They're high in protein, omega-3s, and fibers. Like, I mean, really, really good for you. So, and it's as ancient to its counterpart. Like, what we see is damn near its original form. It's close to it. And then lastly, what shouldn't you eat? What food should you not have? Processed food, especially ultra processed food, which can be found with a lot of vegan things, because all of that stuff has shelf life and is meant to last. And they put it in the freezer and act like, no, that stuff is some tough stuff. You don't want it. Soy, like I just noticed, I don't have this on my slide, but soy is no bueno, and mainly because of the mass manufacturing of it to
Right.
bring you
It's
soy.
a commodity.
It's really the main reason why. And then a lot of this stuff that, remember, we was given to eat by our slave masters. So a lot of this stuff we should know better than to be putting in our bodies anyway. But just because they repackaged it and threw some fancy words around it, you should be able to distinguish a well-dressed lie. Shouldn't be able to just come up and just throw anything at you and you're like, yeah, this is this, I'm gonna eat it. No, it's plant-based. Why doesn't it look plant-based?
Exactly. What plant did they use for this bull?
Yeah, the amount of things on the back, and again, it's just how it's preserved alone. We just know. And then, so frequent deep fried foods we want to stay away from. Stop with the deep frying. If you have it every now and then, because I'm gonna have it every now and then, have you some deep fried, have you something fried. Just don't make it something that you do every day, all the time. And then sodium, we know. Anything that's been cured, anything that's in those ground beef, chicken, turkeys, are no good because they're processed. So unless you grounding it up yourself, you got to get rid of that. And then sugary beverages, high fructose corn syrup, the things we know that have already been, intrusive in our bodies. And so that's kind of like a wrap. That's what I had to share.
Well, thank you, Sister Aja. Let's give Sister Aja applause. Yes, y'all. Hey, that was good. No, I mean, that information is necessary because she shared some things with me that I did not damn know.
That's that? One of the bottles. That's one of the soda bottles.
Oh,
I already know that's what it is. I'm about to look.
Hey, one of my bottles just exploded. I got to go see which one it was.
It's interesting because he's been making the bottle that he just showed us where to go. Oh, he took it back there. You have to, when you're using glass and you're using something that you want to fizz, you have to keep opening it and keep letting out that pressure. So it was that big one too. It was not the big one. Yeah, big. Did it bust or did it just blow the top? Yeah, it blew up. Oh gosh. Well, that one bites the dust. We'll just, and that one looked good too. I thought that was cute how you had it. I thought it was cute. He's on the way back, or I don't know. Maybe he's fishing the glass from around the house, around the kitchen, because I heard it go like. You guys probably heard it too. It was like. So I'm not gonna. I think because he is not gonna come back, I'm just gonna go ahead and close out. Unless you guys have any questions, I'm gonna close out, babe. Okay? Yeah, man. All right. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. If not, then he'll see you Tuesday. Tuesday, back same time, same channel at 4 our time. I'm not exactly sure what time it is where you are. It is 4:43 here in Honduras right now. So whatever time it is where you are. So peace, y'all. We'll talk to